To talk about all this, ABC News chief White House correspondent Cecilia Vega, congressional correspondent's efforts to tamp down the spread of this vaccine, Martha. And so what you're seeing now from a strategy perspective is the administration essentially going back to square one. They're back to appealing to private employers and states around the country to do this on their own in the wake of this mandate. But the reality is you've had 27 states join in this appeal to fight to challenge this measure in court. So they're not going to go there on their own. Some experts are saying that the administration could potentially try to take a more narrow approach and go at this again, targeting companies where perhaps employees are particularly vulnerable, frontline public-facing jobs or companies with poor ventilation systems. You're certainly seeing the administration really try to put the president out there to talk about COVID. We've seen him do a number of public briefings, if you will, talking about COVID in the last couple of weeks. Certainly they're leaning heavily into this now billion free at-home tests that they're going to send around. But as you were saying, those tests are coming well after Omicron. Frankly, medical experts say this is going to be a huge disservice, this ruling, to the effort to get this vaccine under control. But make no mistake, Martha, this was a major blow to the administration's attempt to deal with COVID.
And Rachel, as you heard me read that, Congressman Clyburn saying it was just fine, but it really did seem counterproductive.
Yeah, I mean, you could say he managed to offend almost all sides, on many sides on this one. Look, this was the president's attempt, the White House attempt to really fire up the base in the wake of that fiery speech that he gave a week earlier on the anniversary of January 6th. The White House said they wanted to send the president to Atlanta. They were sending a very clear message to send him to the heart of the civil rights movement, to really play upon what's at stake from a historical perspective. Martha, I got to tell you, I was talking with voting rights organizers down there. I was shocked at not just how livid they are at the White House over voting rights and how they feel like this is all coming too late on this one, but how they're not afraid to say it publicly. They are blasting this administration to the point that, as you said, so many of them, very prominent voting rights advocates, skipped out on this event altogether, basically a boycott. You saw Stacey Abrams not go. She said she had a scheduling conflict. One person that I was speaking to down there in Atlanta, didn't mince any words. They said the feeling is very much that this White House prioritized bridges and infrastructure over protecting the right to vote for Black and brown Americans, who they very much feel votes are at risk. Look, the White House is sounding exceptionally defeated when you talk to people privately right now, and even publicly. I mean, the president didn't mince words on Capitol Hill last week. He really looked like he took one when he went into that meeting and came out. He was so deflated talking to the press. They say they're going to try again. You heard Congressman Clyburn there, Martha. They don't really have a path forward at this point. They don't have those votes.
And Rachel, I